He keeps it hidden away in a dark corner of his closet. As the coronavirus gripped America, John Daggett, a systems analyst and not the nervy type, just felt a 12-gauge shotgun would give him and his girlfriend a little extra peace of mind.
I bought this about a little over a month and a half ago. Didn't know how quickly things would devolve. I mean, people were fighting over toilet paper and things like that. So I was like, well, you know, if anyone wants to try and come in and take things from myself or my girlfriend, just wanted to make sure I had some way of protecting us.
John already had one handgun, but after looking online, spent $450 buying his new shotgun for self-defense, just in case.
Because some people, particularly I should say in the UK, would listen to this and think, wow, okay, even if people are arguing about toilet roll.
One of the reasons, there are other people out there with guns, and those people can come at you. You just never know. I mean, the word pandemic, I think, just kind of makes people scared.
He wasn't alone. In a country where the right to bear arms is ingrained in the psyche, thousands of Americans took one look at COVID-19 and did exactly the same.
It may be hard to believe, but the coronavirus has made Americans want to arm themselves even more than usual. Fear of the unknown and an uncertainty about what could happen has led to sales in stores like this to skyrocket during March and would have been even higher in April had there not been a run on guns and ammunition the month before.
Philip Van Cleve is chairman of the Virginia Citizens Defense League. He says with police distracted by the virus or sick, not defending yourself isn't an option.
Why on earth would COVID make anyone think, right, okay, I've got to go out and buy a gun?
There could be potential food shortages.
Well, still why?
Because people have rioted over food shortages. People have been, violent things can happen. You take away people's food and the thin veneer of society can disappear. I don't care what country you're in.
But still, then why would you need a gun?
To protect yourself. I mean, if somebody...
in the stampede for food?
Well, it may not be a stampede. It could be somebody breaking into your house to get food. You have a right to protect yourself under American law. A handgun is probably the best way to be able to do that.
As the coronavirus took hold, the number of mandatory background checks for new buyers was up 75% in March, just in Virginia, compared to the year before, the highest monthly volume since records began 3 decades ago.
The gun crime is huge, and some people would argue that's because you can buy and use a gun at your will.
I don't know that I would call it huge. What do with the odds of being shot in America, an average person, you getting hit by lightning would be much more probable.
45 minutes up the rail track and the little town of Beaver Dam, where even this tiny gun store has seen its sales increase 5-fold thanks to COVID-19.
Self-defense types of handguns, things that can be carried concealed, and home defense shotguns have been the biggest sellers. Gadsden guns.
Gun shops have been deemed essential during the pandemic, and owner Pat Webb says locals here have felt the need to be locked and loaded.
They might need a ventilator, they might need to be closer to a hospital. Why would they need a gun?
For one thing, a lot of the jurisdictions are releasing criminals so that they're not in jail passing the virus around. Out here in this rural environment, it can take 20 minutes for the sheriff's deputies to show up in the best of times. So you are literally on your own. If somebody attacks you, you are your own first line of defense.
And there's this fear that COVID just heightens all those anxieties?
Once your house catches on fire, it's too late to go out and buy a fire extinguisher. Same concept with owning a firearm for self-defense. Once you're attacked, it's too late to go and buy something to defend yourself with.
If you line up your sights and then close your right eye.
Paul Barnes felt that way. Now he's being trained to use his new pistol via Zoom. Even in the upmarket San Francisco Bay Area, he says a nagging fear that rising unemployment could lead to violence on the streets made him buy not just a handgun, but a rifle too.
I don't want to be at the mercy of somebody who needs money and is holding me hostage. Knowing that I've increased my chances of protecting my family truly helps me sleep at night.
Back in Virginia, John says he's aware his shotgun is probably overkill,
Maybe a little ridiculous, this model.
but says he just feels safer knowing it's there.
People's reactions to the pandemic. I thought that people might overreact and bad things might happen.
Bad things might happen. A paranoia that's driven sales of guns and gun crime in this country for decades. Even now, when the new enemy to be feared is an invisible virus.